Welcome back to the channel. A little bit different video today. We're going to go over my plans for the 2025 season for the channel. I've been asking a lot of feedback on the posts, doing a lot of different polls of what you guys like to watch. And I truly want to make the content for you all. I want to make sure that I'm giving you what you guys want. And so far, we've seen plenty of good feedback about some new things that we're going to do, but also some of the things that have already been done. And we'll dive into previews. Now, previews, I've noticed in the past, have had various different levels of response. Sometimes they do really well. At the beginning of the season, it seems like they do pretty well, but overall it's kind of hit or miss. It's tough in this market too, college football channels. It's very tough to get more views than, someone else that's a bigger company and whatnot. So previews, I'm kind of debating on how I want to do them still. So if you have an idea, let me know in the comments. It's going to be kind of limited how much I do. And if anything, what I'm going to do is condense them all into a one video and a longer video that's going over multiple games at once. If I truly do that, again, let me know in the comments what you guys want to see from those. It is fun to do game by game, but I don't want to keep doing them if the viewership doesn't want that. So I want to make sure that I'm doing good previews, giving good information. It's also kind of tough if you're not in practices to keep up with the injury updates. You don't necessarily know how people are doing, how players are doing. So that could be a little bit of a challenge. But if that's something you guys want, I still do want to do them. That's been a big part of the channel, but the views just haven't been consistent enough. And it seems like that's not what people really want. Game reviews, I've done those in the past a little bit, but I need to go, I think, a little heavier into that. I want to dive into the actual analysis of games, and I think I've been kind of lacking in that department, and that's on me. So whenever there's games, obviously I want to cover them. So Saturday obviously is going to be the biggest one. I want to be able to post a video at night when the games are kind of wrapping up. So when the 6:30 Central Time games are wrapping up is probably when I'll do it. And then maybe I'll do another video of the later games if I miss those. I'll try to do some Friday games as well, Thursday games. That's what I want to do. I do want to evaluate those games because I do watch them. They are really exciting. And I think that the viewership is also watching them as well. So again, if that's what you want, you comment below, let me know what you guys want to see. But Saturday for sure will be a video will come out evaluating those games. If I can do Thursdays and Fridays as well, then I'll definitely do those. Power rankings are coming back. It's going to be every Monday that I put those out, and that's going to be a weekly thing that we evaluate the teams based on how they're playing, and I'm trying to decide what kind of metric I want to use for those to truly give you an objective, as objective, I should say, ranking as possible, but also sometimes it's just truly about the vibes of the team and how they're doing. So I'm debating how I want to do that. Anybody has any ideas, I'd love to hear them as well. Again, these are things that people have really liked in the past, and it seems like there's good conversation. The polls that I posted on the channel as well have shown that you guys want to see this kind of a video. The power rankings are something to talk about. It gives you another way to evaluate, and it's all about what lens you can view those different teams. The other two things that are going to be the same when they do happen: transfer portal destinations. Now, some of the bigger candidates, I'll probably do a long form video. Some of them, it's going to be shorts just because there's not a ton to discuss with certain players, but it is fun to at least give you, I truly like trying to guess where teams are going, players are going to go. I don't have any inside sources that are going to tell me, hey, this is where they're looking, but I truly like to look at where I think they'd be a good fit. So there will be plenty more of those coming this year. As always, whenever a coach gets fired, coaching candidate videos, those are going to be part of the channel as well. Those do really well. It seems like you guys really enjoy those, and it's always fun to discuss who a team should hire, and people definitely have opinions on that, and there are plenty of candidates that will be part of those coaching searches. So that's kind of the core videos that are coming back this year, and there's plenty of new stuff that I'm going to introduce this year as well. I want to expand the content that I'm bringing because I don't think I've been bringing enough to this channel. And I think that there's plenty of viewership, and the channel has grown so much that it feels like we do have to step the game up a little bit, a lot of it, really. Player power rankings is something that I've wanted to do for a while, and it seems like people like those as well. Power rankings in general are usually good, and player power rankings is just another thing that I don't think a lot of people are doing. Now, it's probably going to start with the quarterbacks for sure. We'll do those. The other ones that I'm considering, and I'm curious to hear your thoughts as well, running back and wide receiver are going to be two other ones that I'm considering doing. If people want to see that, maybe I'll post another poll here to see what people think, but you can always comment below as well. Grades are another one. Everybody loves to talk about grades for a team, so I'll probably do those quarter of the year, mid-year, and postseason. Truly gives you another lens to evaluate a team, and part of that is what do they have for expectations coming into the year, and how are they either living up to, exceeding, or not exceeding or not meeting those expectations. That's going to be a fun way to look at some of these teams and truly evaluate them in a different lens, because people love grades, and whether it's an article, a video, it seems like those are ones that people are passionate about. So it'll be fun to evaluate those teams in a different lens. Another new thing that I'm going to do, and I got this from the Hockey Guy on YouTube. He does a lot of good things for NHL content, and he just is a monster with cranking out videos. The Panic Index. And this is going to be a monthly thing up until obviously the end of the year. It's truly going to look at teams that are looking, it'll look at a lot of teams, but we'll be looking at teams from a sense of which teams are in trouble with how they started or during the middle of the year, which teams are okay with how they feel. It's going to be kind of a little bit of a different video. There will be some memes involved. There will be plenty of college football specific memes that are included in the rankings. And we'll look at every single team, at least in the Power Four. And my goal is to cover every single team, but with the Panic Index, we'll try to do as many teams as possible. We'll probably do most of the Power Four, and then maybe a handful or group of 5 teams that are in the playoff hunt. But again, I'm open to hearing how you guys want to see that happening. That's a fun way to evaluate teams in a different lens, like I said, to put teams in to look at how they're doing. I'm going to try to do as much news as possible. I think it's hard to do news with the current day job. This is not my full-time job yet, but I do want to get as much news as possible because it is fun to discuss current trends. When guys are making noise in fall camp, I like talking about that and what that means. You know, Arch Manning is coming back potentially for 2026. I like talking about what that's going to mean. Those are kinds of things that I like to talk about, and it does help everybody kind of keep up to date of what's going on. It keeps you in the know around all of college football. There's so much going on that it's tough to keep up, but there are plenty of opportunities to learn, and it does give me an opportunity to learn what's going on and give me a better way to evaluate how the teams are actually doing given what's happening. 2 other things that I'm going to look at are stats and standings, and that's going to be at the end of the month. We're going to look at how players are doing in terms of stats. There are a bunch of different stats that we're going to look at. There are probably, I think there's probably 8 stats right now I have that we're going to look at who are the leaders. And it's going to give us the ability to look at every single team, right? I think with stats, it does give you some of those, you know, Western Kentucky is someone to keep an eye on. Maverick McIver could be a guy that is at the top of passing yards. It's going to give us an idea of how teams are performing. It's going to give us an idea of which players you need to be talking about and how much that fluctuates throughout the season. Standings, kind of the same thing. I think this is a good thing to do. I think it's a good thing to look at for evaluation of teams. I think it's a good thing to see, okay, well, this team is right now sitting in this position and where they stand in the conference, right? And obviously we might look at rankings there and just see where they stand in the rankings, but it's truly going to be each conference and where each team stands, and kind of going back into which teams are meeting expectations, if they're missing the mark, if they're doing better than expected. That's going to give us another way to evaluate that and truly give us an objective look of this team currently sits at this record. This team currently sits at this record. Those are going to be things that I think are really fun to do. Now, I've already done a couple of these already. If you have them, check them out. Please do. They're really fun to put together. Career videos. I think that this is something that is not being done on YouTube right now, and it's talking about the career of certain players. So I've done Trayvon Boykin, I've done Tavon Austin. We have a ton of other players that we can still do, and we're looking at their career and truly going back through their career in college and what they did at the college level. And it's fun because while I wish I could do highlight videos. I wish I could put clips in there, but with fair use and everything, I just can't. I just can't get them into the videos as much as I'd want to. It's just going to essentially tank the channel. The channel's just going to get canceled. And even if I do evaluate a specific play, I've done that in the past, and the copyright issues and that process is just so difficult to navigate. It's just not worth the time of putting them together and potentially losing the channel. And with the growth that we've seen, I would hate for this channel to go away because of that. But there are going to be some graphics involved. Again, if you haven't checked out the career videos yet, please do. I think they're really fun to put together. I love hearing what you guys think, and it gives you kind of that nostalgic opportunity to go back and truly evaluate what that person meant to you, or at least relive some of those experiences. And then obviously, if you do want to go watch a highlight tape, go do it. I'm all for watching. I mean, I just watched the Tavon Austin tape this past week, and it's totally worth it. I'm just never going to be able to benefit from that, so I'm just not putting the clips in. But I do still want to talk about those players, the players that I grew up watching, some current players, even like some of the players this year that are going to be going pro. I want to take a look back at their careers and look at how they did big picture. I think it's easy to look at their final season and say, oh, well, this was just a really good year. How did they get there? The journey. Those are going to be things that I truly like doing, and I hope that people like them as well. We just started doing it, and I think that has a lot of potential to be exciting. Another thing that I really want to try to do this year is more recruiting, and I haven't done recruiting in the past. It's just been a tough video to produce, but it's something that I always want to do. It does give me an idea of who is benefiting from the recruiting efforts they put in. And especially with NIL, things are changing so much. So I do want to try to do a recruiting video every now and then. I do want to try to at least get some of that type of content out, because I think there is a market for that. I think people do want to see that, and I just haven't done any, but it's something I want to add. And then every team videos, I'm kind of doing that a little bit. It's really hard with 136 teams. There will be videos that I talk about all 136 teams in a specific category. I have broken them up into Power 4 and Group of 5 just to give some separation, just to be able to talk about teams a little bit more in depth. When you do 68 teams, it's tough. I just did a bounce back candidates video, and that was 37 minutes, and I talked about 68 players. Some of these videos are going to be one player per team. Some of them have 3. I want to do those a little bit more because I think they're fun exercises, especially going into this season. So that's pretty much what I have. Again, I'm open to more content as well. If you guys have ideas of what you want to see, I think I do a pretty good job of, if someone says, I want to see this type of content, that I deliver on that. So, I think that there are certain videos, and I do love the support you guys have given me. The commenters that I have, you all know who you are. They've given me good ideas for what people want to see, and I want to keep doing that. I want to give you guys the best content that I can give, and I am excited to see how this channel grows. This past off season was incredible. The deep dive series got us off to a great start heading into the year, and I think that we're set to have a really exciting season in 2025. Again, if you want to see anything, comment below. Whatever you need to do, send me a DM, wherever it is. Let me know what you guys want to see. Let me know what's exciting. And then, like I said, I'll be putting polls out as well. So that should be an opportunity for you to get your vote in. If you don't feel comfortable commenting as well, I'm going to try to give as many channels as possible to let people know what they want to see. So subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you made it this far, thank you for listening for what I have planned. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video.